Hey guys, Art Barrera here, Roberts Truck Center. Today video, I want to talk about what to expect whenever you're purchasing a truck. I know a lot of guys, or I get a lot of guys that come in, they are a certain driver for a certain company, and they want to venture out on their own. They want to get their own rig, put it to work, and see if they can get things going. And these are just a couple of things that I want to share with you. Hopefully they can give you some insight on what to expect whenever you're purchasing your first truck. Number one, bank's always going to ask, pretty much, if you're a first-time buyer, going to ask you for at least 20% down, okay? 20% down of the selling price. So if you're looking at a $60,000 rig, you're looking at 12 grand. If you're looking at a $40,000 rig, you're looking at 8 grand. So it just kind of depends as far as what kind of truck you're looking at, will depend on what that 20% is. Now, banks will make their decisions on your credit history, so that has a lot to do with the down payment as well. If you've had some tough times, and you look like you could be a high-risk loan for the bank, they're going to require that you put more money down. If you've done well and you're well established, then they could make it, as little as no money down, or 10% down, or maybe your first payment on the truck. So the down payment's always going to be fluid, but if it's your first-time buyer, 20% is pretty normal on that. They're also going to ask you most of the time for 3 to 6 months bank statements and 2 to 3 years tax returns. If you're a first-time buyer, if you're already established, a lot of times they're not going to mess with that because you already have some history. But if you're a first-time buyer, have 3 to 6 months bank statements ready and 2 to 3 years tax returns. Banks want to make sure that you're not always running negative in your bank account, and that you make the money you say you're going to make when it comes to putting it down on your credit application, which leads me to number 3. Credit application. You always want to make sure that you be as truthful and as accurate as you can be. Credit applications for trucks, for me, or what I do, isn't very hard. It's going to be basic information as far as name, address, phone number, social. If you have an established business and it's your first truck, you could use your EIN number, but you are going to need to be a guarantor on that. So you're going to need your own personal information as well. Also going to make sure you have your haul source. So make sure you have a good contact and a good contact phone number in case the bank needs to verify. You'll need to know how much you're going to make a month and approximately how many miles a year you're going to drive as well. So make sure you have good contacts for that on your credit application. The other thing with that too, which leads me to my next point, is money down for insurance. I'll have a lot of times I'll have guys that come in and want to purchase trucks and they have their money down, but then when I tell them they're going to need to get their insurance, they kind of overstretched and don't have the money to put down for insurance coverage. Insurance coverage is going to be, comp and collision. It's going to be different than your insurance that you're using for the company you drive with, okay? How that works is that the bank that you're going to finance the vehicle through is going to want to be listed as a loss payee in case the truck gets in a wreck and it's totaled, okay? So they're going to want to make sure they get their money. So do your research as far as insurance companies, get different quotes, make sure you let them know what you're going to be hauling. That way, if you need to get any specialty insurance, you can do that as well. A lot of companies will let you drive under their insurance because it's going to cover the material that they're hauling. So again, your comp and collision, get different quotes. I've seen down payments range anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 to $2 grand to $3 grand. So it just depends on the company. Every insurance company is different. So make sure you're aware that you have some money saved up for that down payment for your insurance. One of the other things I want to share with you as well is you'll always want to make sure, or something that would help you tremendously would be if you actually had a bank account with some money saved up already for emergencies. And for emergencies, I mean breakdowns in the truck. Most of the time, if you're buying a truck from a dealer, used truck dealer, they're going to be as-is trucks. They will offer, I know I offer an extended service contract. Most of them do, some don't. I strongly advise that you do get an extended service contract. Yeah, it may be 4, 5, 6 grand, 3 grand in addition, but if for some reason something happens 3, 4, 5 months later and that engine blows, that extended service contract is going to do wonders for you. It may not cover everything, but it's going to cover a good portion of what it's going to cost to put that truck back on the road. If you don't do an extended service contract, that's fine too. I'm not here, I don't work for an extended service company. I've You sell them if you want them. If you don't want them, that's fine too. But make sure you know this. If anything like that happens, it's coming straight out of your pocket. And make sure you have an account set up to take care of that. You're always going to have maintenance on the truck that has to be done. Sometimes you don't anticipate, hitting a pothole and denting your wheel, and you're going to need a realignment, or you're going to need a whole new wheel because damage was done. Or, you let somebody drive your truck and they weren't paying attention, it overheated and it locked up, and now you need an engine. Whatever the case is, right? Those are just a couple examples. But whatever that is, you want to make sure you're taken care of, and you take care of your asset, because if your truck's not running, you're not making money. If you're not making money, bills are going to pile up, and nobody's doing this to make friends, right? We're all doing this because we either want things, we have responsibilities, we have families, or we like money, right? So that's why we're doing this. So if you can have a reserve account ready to be able to take care of any incidentals like that, you're just going to be in that much better shape. So if you can have an account with, 15, 20, 30, 35 would be ideal. I know sometimes that's not really feasible, but if you had an account with at least 30 grand, enough to at least take care of an engine, right? Which most of the time that's going to be your biggest expense in a truck. If you could have at least that much money put to the side while you get going. Now, once you get going and you start making your money, then obviously, you can do whatever you want with your reserve money. But, if you're just in it 2 months and your engine goes, then, now you're stuck because you don't have a reserve account. You don't have any funds to be able to fix anything. Your truck's not running. If this truck's not running, you're not making any money. So just a couple of things there in the reserve account. Again, these are just a couple of things that I want to share with you of what to expect when you're buying your first truck or you're thinking about getting into the business. Some things that you'll encounter. Give you guys a heads up on that. Feel free, or please subscribe on our page. I appreciate everybody that's looked at these videos and has seen them and left comments and things of that nature. And again, by all means, if I missed something, feel free to comment down below in the comment section. You can share your experience. Hey, this happened to me, or they asked me about this, or hey, I never knew about that. So feel free to put that down as well. Put that information in, because that's what I want this platform to be. I want it to be something that everybody can learn from, and everybody can help each other out in this industry. So again, subscribe to my page. Good luck if you decide to purchase a truck on your own and you want to move forward and be your own boss and be an owner operator. That's awesome. I'm behind you all the way. I just want to give you guys something to look at and be prepared for. So anyway, got to go. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Subscribe to my page, and we'll see you soon. Have a good rest of the week.